The Whites play their first competitive fixture at the home of Gartherstown's Bannister Prentice Stadium, and this is their home for the upcoming campaign. So let's hope it's a lucky omen for us as Olivia Smart and the rest of the team go through their pre-match kick-off routine. And the captain is just going to get her last few checks ready before we have the delay for kick-off. So it's a new dawn, a few new players in the group. We'll go through that in time as the teams prepare their photos. Could have been a gigantic day for women's football. Still is, of course, after the women's success of getting to the World Cup final, and we'll discuss that in due course. So Leeds' team under Rick Passmore is Simpson, Jakeman, Elliott, Smart, Pizzarello, Danby, Smith, Witham, Brown, Russo and Ellis. Williams, Price, Bartott, Sykes and Baycock complete the team. As for Stockport, they go with Bowness, Licence and Weston. Lancaster, Davis, Owen, Rathburn, Houghton, Gillen, Bradshaw and Figueiredo. Steve O'Hara's bench is Rawstron, Newton, Unsworth, Johnson and Mortimer. We do have a new face in the commentary box alongside me. Delighted that Bridie Hannon has got the opportunity to join us this afternoon. Bridie, thanks so much for taking your time to give us what I'm sure is fantastic insight in the next couple of hours. What are you expecting for today, and just how excited are you for this new season?
Do you know what, I'm really excited. We've had a good pre-season. Obviously, you know, every pre-season, you know, players are trying things out. We're trying new formations, different people in different positions. Obviously, it's a lovely day up at Garforth today, and obviously I think we're all a little bit disappointed after the World Cup final today, but I'm hoping that by the end of today I'll be in a good mood and we'll walk away with the 3 points. Yeah,
it was a morning which could have offered even more excitement from our perspective. Of course, excited for the start of a new Leeds United women campaign, and then on top of that, the Lionesses starting this morning. Sadly not to be, but we're discussing just before kick-off, Bridie, as we wait for our game to kick off, just how, you know, for me, just watching the games that we've had, the youngsters you've inspired at a certain level. We then had the FA Cup journey last year against Arsenal. That's an inspiration. Then you've got the England team all around the country, all around the world, and it's even in defeat a very big landmark in women's football.
Absolutely, the Lionesses have inspired a generation. I mean, you know, even when you come down to Leeds United ladies games, there's kids with you know, our names on the back of shirts, and going into the Leeds United shop asking for our names on back of shirts. And I saw a picture the other day with Rashford, and he had Ella Toon on the back of his shirt, and things like that is just. It's just a real landmark. You wouldn't have had this a few years ago. So the Lionesses have done a fantastic job and will continue to do a fantastic job. They've got, you know, a fairly young team, lots of young players coming through. So I think it is just the start for England women. But they've done amazing for the country and amazing for England. Yeah,
fingers crossed. That is, as you say, Bradley, the start of a new era for England, getting to another final, and hopefully they can reach a few more under a fine coaching setup. That is the handshakes all done. And now just wait the action. So we do have some familiar faces in position. Newcomer to the squad, or the starting lineup today for Leeds is Pizzarello, an experienced campaigner, one that I know you were saying beforehand, Bridie, quite excited to watch. There's a few familiar faces, youngsters last year, that I think will get better for the experience. Macy Ellis, Jess Russo in particular. And then you have the stalwarts of the likes of Smith, Danby, Brown and Smart. And the referee is just getting two teams ready for action.
Yeah, we've got some exciting talent coming through, Tom, and like you mentioned there, Pizzarello, she's been really impressive in pre-season. She's left and right footed, she gets up and down the flank, brings a lot of energy, very tenacious, so I'm excited to see her in a Leeds United shirt today, so she gets on.
I think it's crossed she can enjoy a fine debut as Leeds get the game underway. And straight away Stockport under pressure and concede an early throw. So good crowd that have gone to Garforth this afternoon for the new home of Leeds United women. And Tadcaster served a great base for Leeds over the years. Pizzarello with the first early touch, Danielle Witham with an early ball in, but the flag had gone up anyway beforehand for offside. And you mentioned about Pizzarello's ability with both feet, determination. If she can have 1% of the determination that Olivia Smart has, in a very similar sort of profile, as you mentioned, then we're in for a fine couple of months, because Olivia Smart will hopefully play alongside her.
Yeah, she's got some big boots to fill in, Olivia Smart, down that left flank, but obviously she steps into centre-back today, and I'm sure she'll do a job for us.
Good count from the back. Ellis decided to keep it in place. Ellis on the left, Brown on the right to start proceedings. Isabello get back, and it's a really good introduction to what she'll bring as a defender into the team. The turn of pace to get back, try and get goal side. Realised she couldn't do so. So instead, Bridie, she just had to take the ball and the player with a really good challenge. What your thoughts?
I'm happy with that tackle.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that tackle.
Yeah, it was just what you needed, and confidence boost. And your first sentence has already rang true. She'll get up and down the pitch. She's been at both ends, and Leeds will use her throwing ability now. So Ellis puts the pressure on. Passmore, I think for the first 10 or 15 minutes, it is that general buzz you need to try and overcome. I mean, the crowd, the turnout has been superb. So just try and keep the nerves and not play to the occasion. You mentioned it then about how players with shirts on the back of youngsters' backs, and it's how hard is it in the first game of the season to try and keep the lid on things, especially when it's at the start of a new dawn.
Do you know, the first 5-10 minutes, you can see the nerves. I think we just need to get a string of passes together, get everybody on the ball, get that confidence up. But I want to see us a little bit more aggressive, get the ball in their half of the pitch. But yeah, like I said, it's perfectly normal to be nervous in the first 10 minutes of the season.
Yeah, Smith finds Ellis with a good first touch. He's got a shooting opportunity. Stockport defender gets across expertly well. Tremendous defending from Emma Licence, because without that challenge, you'd be very confident, Bridie. It's Leeds United 1, Stockport 0.
Well, let's just say I'm glad I've been on the same side as Macy Ellis, because playing against her, I've played against her in training, as you know, and she's a nightmare to mark.
Yeah, very, very quick, and she caused havoc last year as an attacker. She was also very defensive minded, helping out her teammates here. Leeds have got a set piece routine ready. Ball in towards the near post. Elliott was going for it. It'll fall to Russo.
He was unlucky there. We have some good height in the box there with Izzy Elliott.
Russo goes again with a second attempt towards the far post, down beyond to a stronger left, deflected. It won't fall for another Leeds United jersey, but inside the first 3.5 minutes, Leeds are really putting the pressure on Stockport. That will now be stopped for a moment as the visitors can come forward and try and thread the ball through Pizzabello's touch. Elliott likewise, and that scrappy, determined play gets Leeds United back in possession, and there's nobody really for either side putting their foot on the ball and taking their time. That's what we just said a few minutes ago about the buzz of a new season. You're going to need everyone to maybe get a little bit tired to go, right, let's just calm down for a bit.
Absolutely, yeah. I think we're just sitting a little bit deep at the moment. I think if we could just move forward a few yards, and like I said, we want to be playing football in their half. We've got some real danger players, and I just want to see them get on the ball. Kath Smith, as you can see, she's trying to pull the strings in the centre midfield there. So hopefully we can get someone on the end of those lovely balls she's playing forward.
Yeah, we have the assistant towards the sign, Rebecca Bass, getting the ball, and again, one of the players that's still recovering from an injury that she picked up last year. And normal regular skipper, we wish her well, and knowing her, she'll be determined to have just as much of an impact from where she sat rather than be on the pitch, and like to hear her even more as well, as Stockport getting a bit of a tangle, eventually clear their lines. And I think Leeds have done quite well inside the first 5 minutes, Bridie. We've not had any Stockport possession where they've had a moment to breathe.
No, I think we've had a corner there which it could have quite easily obviously been in our favour, and Danby, I just wanted her to hit that with that beautiful left foot that she's got, but she just kind of brought it back inside where the traffic was. But yeah, she's going to be a big player for us this season, Sarah Danby. She scored some beautiful goals last season, so hopefully she can add to that tally. I'm sure she'll want to this year.
It was her dangerous delivery as well, wasn't it, first time around, that got the pressure for the corner. As the Stockport effort comes in, and that's very high and wide of Carrie Simpson's near post, who was instrumental, I think, for Leeds' success. She was, that Arsenal score at full time doesn't tell the story of how well Carrie Simpson actually played against players that, of course, would have been and in the squad today for a Women's Cup final. That tells you just how far, on the day then, goals were flying, and we're trying to explain to people that might not know the structure just how good Arsenal were, and yet Carrie Simpson seemed to grow strength from that game for the rest of the season.
Yeah, she's a fantastic keeper, Carrie. I played with her for quite a long time, and her distribution's excellent as well, but you can always count on her that if they do manage to get through, she pulls some brilliant serves out the bag.
Yeah, pass there. I think Pizzarello was actually apologising for not being ready for the pass. She put the hand up to suggest she should have been ready for that ball that bounced out for a throw, as Russo will fight away. Referee letting play go. Pizzarello drops the shoulder and tries to come forward. Takes a touch a little bit too close to Stockport player. Nice and brave of her to do so and brace herself for the impact. And again she will try and create from deep. That pass though a bit rushed. Now cleared away for Smart. Up towards Russo, who's another player that burst onto the scene last year. Ellis not happy with her distribution. Again, that's that pace of the play. Leeds just going early every time.
Yeah, I'd like to see us string a few more passes together. I think we're trying to go a little bit long, but I think our strength is through the midfield, so we need to be trying to play through the thirds. I know Rick's been working hard on that pre-season.
Bit of a chance here for Stockport. Smart just couldn't get the ball under control. Carrie Simpson is finally telling everybody to calm down. She must have been given an earpiece to listen to me and you, so she just chill out a little bit, and it's good goalkeeping to at least get the defenders back out of her box and in position. As long ball down the line from Witham, it's certainly asking a lot of Abby Brown, and that will trickle all the way out and towards the Stockport goalkeeper. We had a little chat earlier about the Garforth pitch, and again it's going to take a couple of weeks to get used to playing on it for 90 minutes, but first impressions are it's quite a springy surface. It's a very big pitch as well, and the way this fixture list works in Leeds United, it can be quite intense for some parts and then not in others. It's important early doors we get that intensity and try and make it a bit of a fortress.
Absolutely, Tadcaster was most definitely a fortress. We didn't lose many games on that pitch. Teams struggled to play on it, so hopefully we can make Garforth a fortress this season.
Yeah, Danby slides in and gives away a free kick. Referee was in a very good position to spot that, so can't argue with the positioning. Can maybe look at the replay to suggest there was a slight touch on the ball, but I think the referee has clearly adjudged that Danby went through the player at the same time. So taking the set piece will be Kennedy Owen for Stockport. Clear away.
It was Jakeman that cleared that out, so good clearance, but we need to just get out now.
Elliott sort of does that with her right boot to direct traffic, and another new look sort of defence for this year, and players trying to get that cohesion. And we spoke to other players over the year about that cohesion of, obviously because we're not a full-time outfit, trying to do it in the time you get to training and then play on a match day. And Leeds so far, I think it's quite important. We're nearly at 10 minutes. Carrie Simpson's had very little to do, and that, I think, for Rick Passmore is a box ticked.
Yeah, absolutely. Like what you just said there, Tom, some of these players have never played together before, so it probably will take, and everybody will be in the same boat as well. A little bit scrappy there, but like I said.
Chance here. Brown going through on the goalkeeper. He rounds the goalkeeper, finishes into the far corner. The flag has gone up though to deny her. It was the ball forward from Smart, and did have that impression that Stockport had gone to sleep because they were very confident, and she had just strayed off. But it is, I would like to see a disallowed goal as a real positive. Yes, you're a bit flat for it, but first team to have the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ball from Olivia Smart there as well. Great through ball and a good run on.
Abby Brown's goals vital in this formation that Rick Passmore uses. Can play across all three positions as well.
Yeah, again, she's very dangerous to play against, certainly. So, like I said, I'm glad I was on the same side as her and not against her, because, again, her pace would scare the hell out of me.
Stockport come forward, and Danby tries to put the pressure on, and she's helped out by a couple of fellow white jerseys, in particular Ellis. Right through the heart of the Leeds defence. Stockport come now, the shooting opportunity. Easy work for Simpson, and causing a lot of the problems there was Figueiredo, the number 11, and quite a tall, rangy player. Managed to get a few opportunities just by having that sheer height and the strength to get through, but efforts like that, you'd be very confident, Bridie, that Carrie Simpson's making a save.
Yeah, absolutely. She'll save them all day long, but I think we just need to protect her a little bit more, because we don't want them to be getting their shots off.
Stockport in behind, early crossing opportunity. Good work from Elliott to adjust her feet and get the ball free. Ellis has, as per usual, had to do a lot more work going backwards, and these wingers can't have lazy days at the office while playing in this team. And Stockport have had a lot of the ball into the likes of Gillen and Figueiredo. So it's been I think probably quite an even start.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think Figueiredo is definitely a danger player of theirs. I think she scored a couple of goals against us these past few seasons, so if we keep her quiet, hopefully that sets us on the front foot.
Leeds, a reminder of the bench today is Williams, Price, Bartup, Sykes and Baycock, and a delight to have one of Laura Bartup's finishing ability back among the group, and just shows, I think, a bit of a different option. I think when Laura Bartup was in the team originally, she was the focal point of the attack, and there wasn't really much budging her because she was just finishing goals week in, week out. This time you have someone like Russo who's got a different element to her game. She's a bit quicker, and you've got that competition for places, and which can't be bad at all.
Yeah, I mean, when Laura left last year, obviously it was a big gaping hole that she left, and other players stepped up to the plate, Amy Woodruff and Abby Brown with the goals. But it's amazing to have her back. She does a lot of work off the ball, which obviously you don't always see. But she's just that focal point. You can essentially just limp the ball up forward, and you know that she's going to hold it up and bring players in. And obviously, she can score worldies for fun. So looking forward to seeing her back on the pitch.
Danby and Ellis trying to play out of trouble. Sadly, couldn't do so. Smart takes her time. Potential for a free kick for a late foul, but nothing given. Danby having to work in close quarters again. It's up towards Russo, and actually a bit unlucky there. Deflects off her for a throw, and Passmore, rather than dwell on that, is again giving out the instructions immediately to his group. Figueiredo once more getting to the ball. Pizzarello gets around her this time around. Seems like the ball's been stuck to this left-hand side for an awful long time, but Stockport can now relieve that pressure. As I say that pass isn't the best. Abby Brown was there lurking. Avenue for Leeds perhaps to look at. She's already got in behind once. Yes, she strayed off the side, but clearly feels that there's a bit of pace advantage over on that wing. And the beauty is that they can swap flanks either side. And if Stockport, they'll know all about Leeds' threats, but if the players forget about Brown for a second and then Maisie Ellis goes over to that wing, I think that's what I like about the team today. You've got a very flexible attack.
A lot of pace in attack as well, Tom, like I keep saying. So, we just need to get that ball forward. To be fair, Stockport defence are doing quite well. They're clearing the lines. Keeper's coming off a line quick as well, acting a bit of a sweeper keeper at times. But yeah, I think if we play those through balls in with the pace that we've got, just obviously need to hit the edges of the goal. But yeah, hopefully we'll get a goal soon just to settle those nerves.
Fingers crossed as we get the ball back into midfield. Catherine Smith never needed invitation to shoot from range. She curls that towards the goal, sadly not with enough venom. And inside the first 15 minutes it remains goalless. If you're just joining us here on LUTV, first game of the season for Leeds United women at their new home in Garforth Town's stadium this year. And it has been a positive start. They've had the ball in the back of the net for Abby Brown, but sadly disallowed for offside. And just a few efforts for Carrie Simpson to have to deal with.
Olivia Smart's done well there. She's not taking any nonsense, no risks, just clearing it out for a throw-in.
Yeah, there's a little bit of risk there for Leeds with Figueiredo getting involved. That again just seemed to pop up out of nowhere. Leeds just couldn't get hold of possession and then cleared. And you mentioned the attack a few minutes ago. Figueiredo is just one of those players that seems to get the ball. That's a good player when the ball always seems to find its way towards her, and it's not often the vision into her feet. She's making things happen herself.
If you look at where she's moving as well, Tom, 1 minute she's on the left, then she's on the right. She's definitely a handful. I think the defence needs to be organised and make sure they communicate. Straight
into Cathy Smith, gets a block in. Russo turns away. She was just trying maybe one touch too many. It's fallen for Brown quite fortuitously as Brown will try to go across. He's just not making that killer ball. Macy Ellis was making her feelings known when Russo didn't play it, and we get a much bigger picture of the pitch compared to Jess Russo. We'll get replays, and hindsight's great for us, but I think when you look back at that, Russo to Ellis was the ball not to keep hold of it.
Yeah, it's easy to sit here and say, isn't it? But obviously when you're on the pitch, it's completely different. But yeah, I mean, you know, with this game getting streamed, the girls will be watching this back tonight, I'm sure. If not, at the start of training with Rick, he likes to pick out some of the key points, and like you say, that was definitely a chance there.
Smith's flick on. So we'll back in and try and turn the defender, who looked quite well at first, the number 4 Gemma Lancaster, but referee suggested she fouled Russo. And it will be a welcome free kick for Leeds inside the first 16.5 minutes, and as per usual, Olivia Smart will decide where the ball will go.
I'd like to see Russo on the ball a little bit more, because she's got a glorious left foot, and she's scored a few goals in pre-season as well. So we just need to see her on the ball a little bit more, I think.
Isabel just told to come back a little. Danby floats the ball in, headed straight out. It'll fall to Ellis. She just took a little bit too long. Figueiredo gets past Pizzarello, but there is Smith. She puts her body on the line to get in the way, but Stockport are still coming forward. And we're pretty much all in one line, Stockport's defence there. That's a wide pass, and Leeds just struggling to get passes strung together, work together in unison. But defensively there, even though Stockport looked like we're going to launch a counter, we've always dispelled early doors. But Leeds, I think fits and starts is the best way to describe it at the minute. There's times where they're looking good, other times where you can tell that it is that first game of the season. But there's a couple of players I think early, Pizzarello has had her first few touches to ease the confidence. Olivia Smart has stepped into centre-back Bridie and looked pretty comfortable as expected, because she played there a few times last year. It's just that Stockport players now trying to take their flair players out of the game. One of them is here in Figueiredo.
Maybe touched by Jakeman then.
Jakeman with a poor touch. I think that's how it's gone for me in the first few minutes. Stockport are doing okay. It's more a bounce, a heavy touch, a misplaced pass that's giving them that momentum.
Absolutely. It seems the same for both teams, to be honest, Tom. I think there's another heavy touch there. Just need to string some passes together.
Yeah, good work from Witham, who gets in behind. She'll go to Brown, who has swap flanks for now. Brown has the trickery, but she gets tackled. Good work again from Stockport. And there's some good battles going on in the pitch all around, really. You've got a few through the heart of that team with the likes of Brown and Russo against the two centre-backs. This time Brown switches, and Fran Davis deals with it relatively easy.
They're a physical team of Stockport, so there's definitely some battles on that pitch today, and there'll be a few bruises, I'm sure, at the end of the game.
I think it's control. Going the wrong way, though. Trouble for Leeds, who get it back to Smart. She was trying to play it in behind. Ellis finally switches on. It's a good idea for Leeds to try and bring the speed Merchant into play. She's very unlucky. The keeper comes flying off a line. You can see she's apologising. Now, Olivia Smart's pass was intended for space, not for any particular player, because there were so many of them in there. Macy Ellis has actually done very well to get back on side. And yes, we've got a set piece. There's a glimmer. I think Stockport got quite fortunate there, though.
I think the turf just seemed to hold the ball up a little bit then, which did allow Macy to kind of get on the end of it. But yeah, if she could have got a cross in the box, that could have been dangerous, because the keeper was in no man's land.
Danby to take. Floating ball in. Underneath it is Brown, headed towards goal. She's appealing that corner should be Leeds United, and it will be. And a very brave effort from Brown, because there was 3 or 4 players in her proximity about to head the same ball, but she got there. Stockport player got the touch. Another set piece for Leeds to try and build on. So Danby stayed where she was. The signals come from the Leeds United women number 7.
It was almost a rare goal with Abby Brown's head then.
Danby will aim towards the far post again. There was Elliott. That will be a push, and the free kick is given. No love lost. Elliott not really apologising as she gets up. I don't mind that from a centre back.
I was just about to say I don't mind that either.
I didn't see you apologise too many times, so last season.
No apologies.
It's got to come with the territory, I think, as a centre back. And so Stockport get back on the ball. And Houghton, that passes from Stockport. That's the last few that have all been under hit. I think they're struggling with some of the levels of the turf in that goal mouth where they're just not getting through the ball. Leeds.
Ball seems to roll really slow on that turf.
Yeah, it's an area that Leeds hopefully can try and exploit. Here is Ellis running through, tries to pick the pass to Russo. Brown might be the better option. It's intercepted again by Stockport, and it is cleared out for a bit of respite for Stockport. As I say that, they actually do quite well because Cass Smith looked like she was going to get the ball. Figueiredo again. And Paul back pass might give Leeds hope. Russo, Stockport flying once more. And I don't think the two Stockport centre-halves have put a foot wrong so far. Every challenge they've had to make, they've timed it to perfection. There's a mistake potential here as the ball high line for Leeds. Will it be punished? Here is Figueiredo, goes for goal, deflected. A little flick and a wide. That should be offside anyway. And it goes wide. And a high line for Leeds, pushed up maybe at the wrong time. Leeds United women 0, Stockport 0. And it's end to end. I was going to say at one point Leeds were looking like they were going to score, but the two centre halves and Figueiredo for Stockport have not put a foot wrong.
Absolutely not. And the attack started from the centre half putting in a great challenge there. I can't remember who it was on now, but that started off the attack. And again, like I said at the start, Figueiredo, she's all over and she's proven to be a handful for the Leeds United defence there.
Smart flies in with a challenge.
There was a Leeds player down there, so I'm not sure who that was. Play continues.
Goes Ellis to Brown. I'm not sure Brown realised the number 2 was probably keeping her on side on the licence, but referee will just check all is okay with the Leeds players, and Stockport County will come again. This time right through the heart of the Leeds defence. That ball is just going to be kept in by Figueiredo. Will Olivia Smart dive in early? She will. That will be a corner. Olivia Smart gave a glare to the official in frustration, and I think it's been quite a frustrating game for Leeds so far, but I say that with respect to Stockport, who are just quite simply really tough to break down.
Yeah, they've made a good start. I think their manager will be happy. It's Leeds United's first game of the season. It's their first game of the season. Both teams will be wanting to get the 3 points today. I think there'll be a lot of fans there probably singing and chanting Leeds songs and cheering for Leeds. Stockport will definitely want to quiet them today.
Yeah, signal's gone up from Stockport of where this delivery is going to land if they can. Near post underneath Simpson, deflected and in. It might have taken a touch straight off the Stockport player. That's certainly what the melee of bodies are suggesting, and it is Jess Gillin that he's getting the applause. And right underneath Carrie Simpson, he went for a direct approach, Stockport, and it has paid off. Leeds United women 0, Stockport County 1, and right underneath Simpson, a little bit of pressure. Not sure how much she would have felt there on that occasion, but from a set piece right underneath the goalkeeper, defensively disappointing.
Yeah, it's a sloppy first, sloppy goal to give away. I think, can't help the corner, but needed to be a little bit more organised. Carrie Simpson's almost so good at coming out and clearing them, but obviously it was a sloppy goal. I'm not even sure who it came off. So, yeah, but it's early. We're going into the 24th minute now, so still plenty of time to bring this back. And the quality that we've got in the team, I'm sure we can.
Jackman heads away. All in behind, Gillen's setting off. Simpson's clearance hits her on the back. And it was Pizzabello to try and bring it away. And already Gillen's breathing down her neck. Pizzabello just trying to relieve the pressure with the ball into the channel. Russo will at least chase it down. It's fine footwork from Stockport. Tremendous play. Nifty footwork from Houghton gets her out of trouble. And again, they're going up towards Figueiredo. Elliott gets too tight. And a touch from Figueiredo. She'll go for goal. Thankfully for Leeds, she flicks it with the inside of the boot and curls away, and she's apologising for it. But again, it's coming from, we can't take anything away from the number 8 in Stockport colours, because that was really good work. But then Elliott is just simply trying too hard. She's that desperate to do something to help out.
Yeah, I think she got a little bit too tight then, which just allowed the player just to roll her. But as I say, she's a very strong player, so if you get too tight, you feel like you almost can't win to some extent. But yeah, a little bit too easy that. There were no cover when she got past Izzy there, unfortunately. Figueiredo didn't have her shooting boots on them.
So, Isavello too sloppy. Here's Gillian again. Figueiredo's to the left-hand side. She will go for goal. And she's once again missed, and it's a glaring opportunity. She might have even had the time to take that down and pick her spot, but Leeds, from building out from the back, it's just those partnerships again. Olivia Smart is normally the first to receive it, and I'm all for tricks. It's something I'm a big fan of. I love confidence at the back, but when you're in a new team on debut, it takes some really, really gutsy players to just go, do you know what, I'm going to dummy this and step over it at left back.
Well, I'm sure
and
you
it
know,
wasn't the place.
Tricks are something that I do not possess, so I don't attempt anything like that. But Pizzarello has definitely got that in the bag, but on that occasion didn't quite work.
Yeah, needs to be a bit more secure in possession. If you're going to try that, make sure the scoreline's in your favour. Here is Brown for Leeds, trying to find a space to have a go. Let's fly, falls to Danby. Danby looking for the up and under towards Ellis, who just can't control it. She'll have the strength. Here is Smith, trying to run through, and not for the first time Stockport with a last-ditch challenge. Cass Smith will race across. Falls to Ellis, she sells the dummy. Looking for the inside, it was more of a gentle pass, hoping to find a teammate. No confidence behind it as Figueiredo holds up the play. And it loops down the sideline and straight into Danby's chest, but those two forwards for Stockport causing real problems so far for Leeds United Women's. Here is one of them in Figueiredo. Elliott, that time, exactly what she needed to do. Just trapped back, waited for the perfect moment, flicked it off the right boot and away for a throw, and that'll give her a big confidence boost as well.
Yeah, it was good cover that by Izzy. She came from that central position to the left back, and I noticed that Pizzarello then just slotted in the centre half position, but I think the gaps are a little bit wide at the back there, so they just need to tighten that up a little bit.
To the flank, and a loss of bearings there for Emma Licence, who sadly has not lost her bearings all afternoon when defending. Been in the right place at the right time. As the sun beaming onto the Garforth Town pitch, so hopefully everyone will lift inside the ground, because it's just that early start, first 5 minutes, Leeds were doing quite well. As the game's gone on, it's just been a struggle to neutralise the front two. But you know, Rick Passmore's constantly been at the group, and there were times last year where things weren't going right and he'd make a tactical switch. Pizzarello just been pulled up for a foul throw there, and I think it's little things like that. There's been some poor touches, some poor decisions, and they are fixable, these things.
Yeah, I think sometimes we're trying to force the ball forward a little bit. I think there's opportunities to kind of go back and recycle.
Chances. Houghton picks it up, Smith gets across. He's going to fall into midfield, but Smith gets in there again. It needs someone to put their foot through it for Leeds. As the shot comes in, Simpson dives to her left-hand side. Doesn't catch it fully, but the reflex is second to none to gather at the second attempt, and it was Emily Bradshaw letting go from range. And Leeds just sat a little deep on that occasion. And normally, there would have been a midfielder in that gap to fill the void. So it is those early season, I guess, footers where you just try to work each other out a little bit. Got to try and get the key players. Certainly Danielle Witham's been quiet the last 10 minutes. She goes early. It's passes like that. There's just not that connectivity just yet.
Yeah, absolutely. A couple of minutes ago, we're looking at the top of the screen and there were acres of space. I think going back to what we were saying about recycling, we need to be using that space and trying to switch play, because some of our better players have not got on the ball yet.
That's good work from Danby. And still waiting for the pass, and she went wide for Ellis. I can understand she wanted that wide pass out wide because it would have given Leeds an angle.
I wanted Danby to be a little bit more selfish there and have a shot. We were almost behind that.
I mean, the one point, sorry to put in there, I think she does the harder bit easily, and then the bit where you think this is Sarah Danby's best bit of her game, her passing, her eye for a ball into a channel, she goes the wrong way, and I almost did think, just hit it.
She's a very unselfish player, and sometimes I want her to be a little bit more selfish. But, I think when you look at Stockport, they're not afraid of having a shot.
And Russo trying to get it into a dangerous area. That's good from Smart. That's what Leeds need to do, win the ball higher up the pitch. Witham is beating to it. And I think you mentioned about 10 or 15 minutes ago how strong Stockport are. And you can see in the challenge, really physical, as Pizzarello uses that speed of hers and goes back to Simpson. Simpson tries to return the favour and does, and that's a bit more like it for Leeds.
Very calm, cool and collected by Carrie Simpson there, and you love to see.
Smart down the line from Pizzarello. Not 100% sure that Smart expected it from Pizzarello, but again, she's come from a good level, played in similar leagues, played higher. She's got the aspirations to try and go with Leeds to go higher up. You can see that little bit of confidence about it, but to try and channel it in a good way. And I like that. She's just been pulled up for what you would probably describe as a lazy foul throw. So the next one's got a lot more venom about it to try and make an immediate amends.
Yeah, exactly. I do want to see us play a little bit aggressive. I loved how Olivia Smart came out from the centre-half position and tried to drive the team forward, but we just need the rest of the team to drive along with her.
There's a free kick there for Stockport, a late challenge. Pretty much want Olivia Smart to do what you do. Take control, dictate it forward. But that is an element of your game, isn't it? To try and win the ball high, play a pass that is not only simple but actually spreads it quite wide. You've got that in your locker. Olivia Smart does too.
I love spraying the ball about, and I love using the pitch and using the width. And Olivia Smart's definitely got that in her locker as well. Obviously she's not playing in her favoured position today, but she's doing a job for us. She's winning a lot of headers as well. It's good.
She just played it safe there. She's gone for a corner. She would have liked to go the other way. She's just apologising. But again, I think with some of the defending Leeds have had to try and deal with. Safe is normally a decent element, but with a set piece you conceded from this here now, it's important for Leeds to deal with this first time of asking.
Got to be organised here, and they need to be set up height for height. They've got some quite tall players in there, so they just need to make sure that they organise properly. Ball in. Smart went for it, so did the Stockport defender. He's gone down, and there's a clash of heads. Perhaps the referee to come across. Leeds will get the goal kick, and again, the physical approach, charging into the penalty area. Olivia Smart braced herself for that. You could tell it was coming, and it is still just the 1-0. Just joining us here on LUTV, a 24th minute goal from Jess Gillen. Certainly seemed to hit her shoulder on the way through. Very close to being an own goal, as well as Ellis comes away with it down the left hand side. Helps it forward to Russo. A whisker away from Jess Russo being able to bring that under control. Ellis goes and wins it back again. I almost feel like that might be our best way into this, with he's just trying to get those players that, I guess the best way to describe it is like by hook or by crook, we'll just find a way. Macy Ellis is one of those. Danielle Witham's another. Brown tries to pick out Ellis, and it's just overhit. But again, she'll run all day to try and help Leeds' cause. Cass Smith's another. And almost maybe go for the ugly side of the game for the last 10 minutes of this first half and just try and outmuscle them and give a little bit back what they've been receiving. Yeah, they're not making it easy for a Stockport, but I think Macy's trying to find them little gaps. It was a nice little ball through with the outside of her right foot then to Jess. It was just a shame that again the Stockport very, very organised at the back. Yeah,
I think it's important for Leeds to learn their lessons as the game continues to, as we get in towards half time, to just try and just live with the pressure a little bit. Had to do it from several set pieces. Enrico, the last one there, got the goal conceded from a set piece. Important to try and just try to deal with things, learn as a group as we go on, and not panic. And I think overall they haven't panicked too much in this game. Half-time could be massive for Rick Passmore. It's that first half-time team talk of the year. Certain players will benefit from it. Olivia Smart goes back towards Carrie Simpson, out towards Macy Ellis. She keeps it in. In doing so, actually aids Stockport's chances of an attack. So this, we're only trying to keep that play alive for Leeds United. As Pizzarello's been caught, not getting goal side. A tame ball in from Figueiredo. And I made a comment earlier, which is continuing to run true. I don't like to be right, I'd rather be wrong. But the ball has been stuck down the right-hand side for Stockport. You made it about 5 minutes after me about there's so much space on Abby Brown's flank. It is an area that you think that Leeds could exploit.
Absolutely, yeah. I think Harriet Jakeman, the new signing, she's got a great right foot on her. She can ping a ball, and I've not really seen her much on the ball, but I would like to see it over that side with Abby coming in on that left foot, because we know she can strike a ball, and she had 1 or 2 opportunities which have been blocked. But yeah, this is where the space is at that side.
The ball back. Smart just adjusts her feet and clears. Midfield for Stockport's winning the battle so far. Isabello flies in. And Ellis takes control. They just haven't had the opportunities to put their foot on the ball and try and play. They'll go through the channel again to Russo. This is where she likes to come alive, Jess Russo. Latching on to passes into the area, looking for Brown with a cutback. It'll fall to Witham. She might have a go for goal. She will. Deflected away. Stockport get the rub of the green. And Witham does well to keep her cool. But where I mentioned the point earlier, Laura Bartup likes the ball into feet. You play a ball into space, Jess Russo reacts, bursts onto the scene. Yes, that cutback's not great, but it caused Stockport to panic.
Yeah, and she'll run all day long for you, will Jess, up there. And I liked the follow-up play then, so we didn't quite get the first one, but then Danielle Witham was on the end there to have a couple of good shots. Just struggling to break them down at the moment.
Yeah, Smith's not happy in midfield. Not sure whether she wanted Brown to track back a little bit. And Leeds, just with 8 minutes or so left, to try and get a bit more momentum behind them. Again, similar idea. In behind, use the speed. Ellis and Rousseau are quicker than the Stockport defenders, or at least appear to be. And they've won another set piece. And that is as simple as it gets.
Exactly, yeah. If you're playing the ball into the channels and into the space, it's making the Stockport players run back towards their own goal, which nobody wants to do that, and it just allows then the defence and the midfield all to push up and support. So much better from Leeds, and a great spot by Olivia Smart there.
So Sarah Danby delivered some dangerous set pieces in so far. Daniel Witham was just flirting with the idea of coming a little bit short for that ball, just giving Stockport something else to think about. Decided against it as Danby again goes for the heart of the box. Now it might fall to Smart. It will. As the shot comes in, it falls and hits Figueiredo. Danby goes again, looping ball in. Keeper flaps at it. She did not know where that ball was going. Abby Brown was lurking, Russo lurking. We have another set piece. And on the commentary debut, you've made some fine points. Earlier, you said, I just want Leeds to shoot more and take a few more chances. One shot, one cross. Just get the ball in there.
Well, yeah, I mean, anything can happen. I mean, obviously, Stockport were fortunate then. It went in the right direction. But, when you're flinging a ball like that with that much pace, it can come off anybody's shin pad or anything.
Here's Danby. Break off as the ball's in near post. Russo spinning, turning, going for goal, and into the top corner. Jess Russo reacts, turns on a sixpence to score for Leeds United women. And that is exactly what Leeds United needed. The first real opportunity for the number 9 to shoot, and she takes it. 39 minutes in to the new season. It's one apiece.
Great goal on the spin on the left foot. That's what she's capable of. Really pleased for her.
And it came from a corner that, of all of them, was probably the least well hit. All of them have gone far post, penalty spot. That was near post. And she makes it look very, very easy indeed. And what a big time to score a goal.
Massive. Yeah, massive. Just before half time, I think they could be pleased with that. Might change the team talk altogether. I'm not sure if they were thinking about making any changes, but they might decide just to keep it as it is. Leeds are definitely on top at the moment. They've played a lot better in these past 10-15 minutes. Created more chances, had more shots at goals.
Jakeman to Brown, just gets her feet in a tangle. Stockport again have managed to capitalise by putting the ball in behind. We know that's their tactic very early on. In behind to Figueiredo, up towards Gillen. And let the striker do a lot of the work. They'll get the throw leads to try and put some pressure on. Pizzolero has shown plenty of venom behind some of the throws, albeit she had one that was a little under hit. And now Russo coming short. For a defender, clean sheets that wonderful feeling at the start of the season. Sadly, we don't get to savour that today, but I suspect it's the exact same for Russo, Bartipper Brown for a goal first day of the season. It just gets rid of those nerves.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the 3 points are the most important thing, but yeah, like you say, clean sheet would have been the icing on the cake.
All down the line and straight out of play. And just what Leeds need, just to try and see. I'm looking a little flustered. Just seen Sarah Danby make a comment towards Pizzarello about trying to play the throw in early and not take her time, and mentioned it again about this new teammate coming into a new group. A couple of weeks together is not long enough when you've got a full season. It's handball against Leeds United's Ellis. And again, that's what Rick Passmore will look to do at half time, just try and get some small differences made to hopefully change the group. He's screaming at the players now to get in position for this set piece.
Should be disappointed with that free kick.
Certainly will. They've managed to win it back. Pizzarello and Danby flying in. That's good work from Danby. Scrapping away. Witham bursts forward. And that's that turn of speed from Danielle Witham that there's very few players that have that. Macy Ellis is one of them, but she can turn a game on its head just by quickly running in a straight direction. It's fabulous to see in midfield. Want to see more of that as a flying challenge from Olivia Smart concedes a throw.
Yeah, she's so tenacious, and because of that she gets brought down, because she's got brilliant speed, good footwork, but she's got such an engine on her as Danielle Witham.
Smart, in the nick of time, gets goal side. Needs to do so again. Figueiredo flies in. A couple of minutes left until half time. If you're just joining us here on LU TV, the opening day of Leeds United women's season, fell behind the 24th minute, scored in the 39th. Number 11 in your picture in Stockport colours. Figueiredo has been the main issue for Leeds to deal with. Annoying is the best word I describe her as. From our perspective, she's very annoying, but clearly very effective.
I was going to say, I won't tell you said that.
Up towards Carrie Simpson. A strong challenge there in midfield for Leeds to deal with. He's putting her body on the line. Pizzarello is just bracing herself, expecting the impacts. Two players scrapping on the floor, get the free kick given their way, and again it's a lack of communication, maybe a lack of confidence of where she wants to go with the ball. Pizzarello, she seems very happy to have it, just didn't deal with it quick enough. Stockport have got the gift of a free kick here in a set piece in a dangerous position with a couple of minutes left.
Yeah, they're very dangerous on set pieces, as we've already seen, so we don't want to be giving away any silly corners or free kicks. Disappointing just before half time to give one away, but hopefully we'll get a Leeds head on this.
Do just that. Smart clears it, will fall to Figueiredo, and a block from Witham. Stockport still keep it alive. Curling effort. Gillian has stepped forward, doing so by stepping offside, and I don't want to talk about this too much because if I jinx it, it is my fault, but wherever Figueiredo's left her shooting boots, we should throw them even further away, because she's just shooting from everywhere, but thankfully for us she hasn't managed to find that composure.
Yeah, exactly. I keep saying it, don't I? She's literally everywhere. 1 minute you look on your screen and she's at the left, and then she's in central, and then she's on the right. She's a really dangerous player. I think the Leeds defence are been a little bit busier in this first half than what they'd like to be.
That is for sure. It's Smart watches that all the way. Figueiredo just trying to put her off, and with them to Jakeman. Back it goes to Simpson. A real pressure, so Simpson decides to go long up towards Russo. Doesn't stick though with the number 9. Smart nips in, commits to the challenge. Leeds will have to fill in several different positions, centre back and midfield. There is Pizzarello. She's a little unlucky again. Figueiredo is just by her side all the time. She goes in for a second attempt, and that's better, much better. Leeds' fans no doubt will take that for the rest of this game. Got caught out and made a quick apology by winning it straight back, and Leeds go straight through the heart, and it is back with Stockport now, but it is closing in on half time. Entertaining first half in terms of end-to-end action. We've not been lacking any desire to take the lead between these two sides. Stockport come forward for another attack. Elliott beaten to the near post. Smart takes a touch. Commanding clearance. Out towards Russo. That's exactly what you want from a captain sort of performance. Just gets rid. Very important. This is the scoreline at half time.
I was just about to say, every time that ball goes forward, it seems to be Deej on the end of it, breaking up that play. And even when she's running forward, intelligent play by Danby, just from slotting in. And not that we needed Danby, but very intelligent play. But yeah, I thought Olivia Smart's been excellent this time.
That's great work from Jakeman. Up to Brown. Here's Russo. Russo's got speed. The Stockport players got the advantage of positioning, but they're going for it. She's won the ball. Russo now towards Brown. Just a little overhit. It'll fall to Witham. Tries to dig it out and go for goal. Down the throat of Faye Barnes. And that is so unfortunate. But Jess Russo, once again, full flight, charging forward. It is just a nightmare to live with for opposition.
I mean, what a run that is from Jess Russo. Thought she was going to shoot then. She tried to play a little ball into Abby. I'm not sure Abby was aware that ball was coming to us. That was unlucky.
It was. That is half time. And a breather needed for everybody, really. End to end, nobody taking their foot off the gas, but Leeds showing that fighting spirit to come back at one apiece. Your last thought, Brady, of where we need to improve to go forward and get the win?
I think we just need to play the ball more in their half. I think, we've been far too defensive. I think we've let Figueiredo get on the ball far too much and have far too many chances. Definitely think we've had chances of our own. We have shown signs and glimpses. Stockport defence have been really good, but I think where we can really get them is in behind, and especially on the wings. I think that's where our danger players are, and I'd like to see us play more wide.
Right, let's fingers crossed that is exactly what happens in the second half. Join us on LUTV in around 15 minutes time.
food and drink and are ready for the next 45 minutes here at the Bannister Prentice Stadium. Home for this season of Leeds United women. Doesn't appear to be any substitutes for Stockport County ladies, so it's as we were at the start of the game. Again, a big thank you to all you attending today on behalf of Garforth Town. Hope you're enjoying the experience. Could we play a few more of my banging tunes if I know we'll be this long? Unfortunately, I don't have a voice. Team are coming out now. As they're using squad numbers, it's a bit difficult to see if there are any substitutes, but I think it's as we were. And they've been joined by Mr. Isherwood and Mr. Bradley and Mr. Fitterman.
Welcome back then to LUTV's coverage of this encounter in the first game of the new season. And Leeds United women are level at the break in this opening National League Division 1 North fixture. They fell behind in the 24th minute when the goal was tapped in from Jess Gillen. And that was from a corner, and she was the one that certainly appealed for it. That then cancelled out 6 minutes before the break, and Jess Russo turned in the box to fire home. Myself, Tom Hill and Brady Hannon have brought you all the action, and when asked, Brady told me at the end of the first half he wanted more width, a bit more confidence playing the ball in their half, and I guess the added advantage for Rick Passmore is 30 minutes in, it was looking like an uphill challenge to be at that scoreline 1-0 down. That goal has taken a bit of pressure off. And then you look at the bench as well, and it is quite experienced. The Leeds team today is Simpson, Jakeman, Elliott, Smart, Pizzarello, Danby Smith, Witham, Brown, Russo and Ellis. Then the bench is Williams, Price, Laura Bartup is back for Leeds United. It's then Sykes and Baycock. So there were times where we felt a little bit under pressure, didn't we, as where we were, and yet there's also a ton of reason for optimism, as the referee has decided that yellow card is necessary inside the first minute of the second half. For a pretty stern word for the number 3, which is Lily Weston.
Yeah, I think like what you said, Tom, exciting bench. It's good to see Laura Barton back, but also it's great to see a couple of the last season's under 23s on the bench as well, so hopefully they'll get a little bit of game time today, Emily Sykes and Molly Beacock.
Yeah, just looking at the replay there, it was quite petulant, I guess, from Lily Weston, and we have seen a change in the top ranks of the men's game for dissent and cards being given out, and that's going down the pyramid as well. Players being punished for blatant time wasting. So Joe Gallagher on Ellen Road on Friday night get yellow card for putting his foot in the way of a free kick, and that used to be just part of the game. So the players will have to adapt to the new rules, and Weston decided to not let Leeds take a quick free kick. So the ball is in the hands with Harriet Jakeman for a throw. Abby Brown just trying to turn away and get free from the marking. Maybe Rathburn. A strong challenge from Jakeman, who just hasn't seen enough of the ball in this game, but there has been the glimmer of the ball that she has had, the small indication. It's been pretty solid. Yeah,
she'll want to get the ball down and she'll want to play it down that wing, but she loves getting forward herself. She's an experienced player. She's been at Leeds before, but she joins us from Bradford City, who obviously got relegated last season, so she'll want to make a mark on this Leeds United team.
Her away from Elliott, just out of trouble and away from danger. So first game at the Bannister Prentice Stadium, new home of Leeds United women this season, and it is a fresh start for everybody. The fans have turned out in their numbers as well, and let's hope it's a positive result to start the season. As Catherine Smith gets on the ball, he's looking for Jess Russo early. That's the eagerness to get Russo involved. Bit too much there.
She's working hard up, Jess. She's closing a lot of balls down. She's running the pitch for us, but we just need to back her up a little bit, which Abby Brown has done really well then. Thought she'd run as a throw-in, but fortunately it's gone the other way.
Yeah, referee giving the decision to Stockport. Some of those players you mentioned, we've got Jakeman and Pizzarello making their debuts. It will be a free kick to Stockport. So we'll chase this down. Wins leads a throw, just as Bridie said, running all day long, chasing things down, chasing lost causes. And we have a throw in where Jakeman has just got the time, a bit of a word of advice from further up the pitch. Brown getting back as well, so Stockport a real tough nut to crack. Good performance at the start of last year for Leeds to get the win. Brown scoring twice. There was Ellis, there was Bart up on track as well.
It's a great ball by Pizzero.
It is with them. She will try and twist, turn, looping ball in. It's difficult. Brown comes back to try and attack. Scooped away by Stockport, who were the other tie the 2 times met last season, so pretty even keel.
Yeah, it's good pressure from Leeds. We need to just keep this tempo up, but really good pressure, good start to the second half.
Well, to say that, it's not massively effective like rampant and constant pressure, is it, where we're battering the goal, but the main thing is that Stockport have not had too much joy on the ball themselves as they get away from trouble. There is Smith early again, and just like you said you wanted us, I'm no doubt you'd have been part of that half-time team talk, giving your opinion across, seemingly winning the ball a lot higher up the pitch and like suffocating them almost.
Absolutely, it's forcing them into mistakes, and that's exactly what we want.
Yeah, Brown went early with the shot. She's appealing for a corner, saying it got a touch off the boots of Gemma Lancaster. Not to be, but again, just something a little bit different. Jakeman getting into position late for a throw. Stockport fell asleep. Massive gap for them to exploit. I don't mind that in the instance of just shooting on sight. There's a little bit of an opening, try and take it.
Said I wanted it to be more selfish in the first half, and that's exactly what she did there.
She's a player that will always try and shoot on sight of Brown, more of a natural striker in that regard than, let's maybe say, Russo, who has put one on the plate for her earlier. Into midfield for Houghton, got too much space for her as Stockport to their first cross blocked. Jakeman slightly out of position now, though. A big space at the far post and a huge miss, and Jakeman again just explaining no help whatsoever at the far post. And Lily Weston, who's carded in the first half, you could arguably say Bridie should be doing a little better.
Absolutely, it should have been a goal. That I thought, Harry did well to get ahead on it, but we didn't win the second ball, and it just left two of them really with acres of space at the back there. She needed to be a little bit more organised.
Jakeman seen more of the ball in the first 6 minutes of this second half than she did in the entirety of the first, as here is Russo, hold up play, trying to pick out Ellis. Danby flying through, beaten to it by Houghton. They wanted it off Pizzarello, but she would instead go down the line to Danby, stretching the play. Danby has the option to play a pass, just decides against it. Took a little bit too long. It's just kept in by Pizzarello, who goes early towards Russo. Headed up in the air, two players collide, both putting their bodies on the line, and Leeds United will get the decision. And Pizzarello on both occasions knew exactly what she wanted to do. There was no other intention in her mind to go early into the area.
Yeah, she was just hitting that space in behind, and as ever, there's the willing runner of Jess Russo, and we're forcing the players to make decisions in dangerous areas.
The Danby signal already given. Leeds had this similar formation lined up in the first half. A line of players that will then separate: Smart, Smith, Elliott, Russo. Keeper collects. No, she doesn't. Spills it. It'll fall to Smith. It's another ricochet in the area, and referee has stopped the play. Not sure whether the goalkeeper picked up an injury on the floor in the build-up, and she's suggesting that she was caught. You get a replay here. Did the ball actually go all the way through and hit her while she was on the ground? But you might have heard Bridie's slight noise of excitement, because that was that was a routine catch if I ever have seen one, and then all of a sudden carnage. I'm
not sure what happened then. Obviously she dropped the ball and we nearly took advantage of that, but I think Kath Smith maybe that hit the ball and it just hit into the keeper's face, I think. But she did well. It was a good block by her. I'm not sure she knew much about it, but we were unlucky then.
Yeah, Brown clears. It has been a lot more controlled, this, for Leeds United's perspective.
I think the chance that they missed has definitely woke the Leeds United girls up a bit.
Safe from Jakeman, punts it into the stands. Weston to go retrieve it now, and Figueiredo the one that's coming close, and not have to say her name too much, which is great news for Leeds. Jakeman watching her all the way, but got to be careful as it's back in. There is Brown. Figueiredo picks up the loose pass. Floating ball to the far post. Ellis gets it, but nearly gives it to the Stockport player Houghton, who's wrestling back for the ball. A couple of charges going in, including Jakeman, a penalty, a play, and Harriet Jakeman will take control of this, going laterally and away, but it's only as far as Weston. Here is Gillen in the box, tries to control it, and now she goes to ground. Olivia Smart is moaning at a lack of offside, and then there was no real attempt from a penalty, but it's pretty much what we saw Stockport in the first half. And I'm not trying to criticise their play, because it was very effective, but it's more like they come alive off play breaking down. Once the play breaks down, they actually start to get better, which they've done again here. Once the clearance comes away and it doesn't fall to another white shirt, Stockport all of a sudden have got a chance.
Yeah, absolutely. I thought Macy did really well there. I mean, it's not somewhere you'd like her to see defended in our box, but it was still rather effective. She got a body in the way, and I think Deej did really well just to use her body as well, just to shield it for Carrier to pick it up.
Yeah, fine work. So Jakeman has been heavily involved inside this second half. Here is Lanya Witham trying to control matters at the back. Elliott clears up to Houghton. We're looking for Ellis, only got it as far as Harriet Houghton for Stockport. Smart needed a little bit more help. She will now take a bit more decisive action and clears it to Russo, who will win a throw. And Leeds gets another chance to attack, but as a defender, what would it be like to mark someone like Jess Russo? You know,
a nightmare, in a word. A nightmare.
I mean, you were very honest. I like it early doors.
Do you know what? She's got a pace. She's got a fantastic left foot. So what I would be doing is always trying to get her on her right foot. And knowing my luck, she'd probably still score with the right foot. But yeah, she's definitely more prominent with her left. So I'd be showing her inside.
It's one of those days today. Hot August afternoon. Don't want to be chasing Jess Russo all day long. And she just never seems to stop either. That's I think the annoying thing for a defender to deal with. She needs to gather more energy as the game goes. As Ellis tries to bring her into the play, she's going to get to this ball as Russo goes to ground. There's no penalty appeal from her, but she will be happy to take the set piece. And again, Leeds in the channel. Let the strikers do their job. And Stockport, you can clearly tell, are a little bit fearful of when Ellis start to attack a loose ball.
Yeah, the Stockport defence are looking a little bit shaky this half, but you know, as I say, it's credit to Jess having a fantastic second half of the match, and you know, as a centre half, she makes my life a little bit easier because I just run over the halfway line and just ping it forward, and if it's an over-hit ball, she'll get on the end of it.
The ball in from Smart towards Elliott, gets her head towards it, just glances the top, doesn't get much of a convincing touch on it, but she's unlucky as Figueiredo tries to come clear. Abby Brown dives in, and the Leeds fans no doubt delighted with that. And this is much, much more control. Rick Passmore, whatever he has said at half-time, has clearly got them firing on all cylinders. And as you rightly said, Brady, then they had the chance, Stockport, and that's given Leeds a lift even more so as Catherine Smith bulldozes her way through into midfield. Stockport take a quick free kick. Elliott is given the instruction by Carrie Simpson.
Yeah, I'm not sure we needed to give that free kick away, but nevertheless it broke up the play a little bit.
Tillman just trying to play it down the line, got the execution wrong.
I do like how Catherine Smith was showing the physical side then, because I think Stockport to a certain extent bullied us a little bit at times in the first half, so it's nice to see those challenges going in.
Yeah, you've got a more technical player in Danby, haven't you? Trying to pull the strings in midfield. Daniel Witham's a bit of a mix of the two. Catherine Smith in there. Leeds have had different options over the last few seasons as the holding mid. And there's certainly been an element of improvement in that regard as Pizzarello's got more on the ball. Again, she's shown a bit of class into Witham. She tries to carry it, prods it out wide to Russo. She's trying to back the Stockport defenders up, and while she does that, the covering run from Houghton, I think, has been a really good player for Stockport today. She seemingly picked up a lot of the loose balls.
Yeah, it's good defending that, and what we were saying about Jess, she showed her onto her right foot, and obviously a little bit of a heavy touch with her right foot, which went straight to the keeper, but yeah, I think the defence have kind of clocked onto Jess a little bit, I think.
Houghton again. Going sat a bit deeper. Figueiredo onto Gillen. A chance to shoot. Carrie Simpson narrows the angle. And Gillen so frustrated that she didn't take that chance. I think she took it too early. And I think she's done that because Carrie Simpson, the minute she's looked up, she's got Simpson in her face, bearing down on her. And it's, I think, unsettled her, to be honest.
Yeah, it was good positioning by Carrie there. And as you can see, you know, she's wanting to play out from the back all the time. You know, we just need those two centre halves to split, use the width, and start playing quicker and more aggressive, and we've definitely done that in the second half, so it's, whatever Rick said at half time, it seems to have worked.
Jakeman take the latest Leeds United throw. Hour mark reached, and Leeds trying to set the tempo. Elliott's pass across the back four.
Just need to be a little bit further in front of Pizzarello then.
It eased the pressure. As I say, it doesn't give her much chance to attack though. Danby plays it down the line. Pizzarello will win the throw, but the Stockport player has come off second best. And it is Jess Gillen who's had a frustrating 2 minutes. Last just missed the chance. Now had the ball kicked into the back of her head, but she's trying to battle on. A little bit groggy, which is no surprise. Wasn't looking. Those are never easy to try and shake off. You can never fully know how your body's going to react until you stand up, and hopefully for her perspective she's okay to continue. The Stockport are making their first change. Jodie Mortimer is going to line up in the number 17 jersey. I think this is the number 7 Olivia Rathburn, who's been one of Stockport's quietest players. And it's an early change. I think that's almost like a statement of respect. They've lost the control they had, and they now try to win it back.
Absolutely. The managers obviously noticed that, you know, Leeds United are more on top this half, having more chances, definitely using the flanks more, so, you know, rightly so, he's made a change.
That's a nips in. Pizzabello, Daniel Witham, who's
It's a foul.
missing a cross. Advantage given. Don't worry, Brady. He was on our side.
Yeah, I'll let
You
him
got
off.
your decision. As Abby Brown runs into traffic, big gap in that midfield for Stockport. Midfield 3 for Leeds. Just breaking up a little. Smart getting back. Leeds are a little bit deep. Catherine Smith, the deepest of all, because she was covering for Jakeman. Slightest of touches, both from from Smith and Jakeman. No free kick. Figueredo told to carry on. It's over the head of Smart. And again, those instances where Stockport win the ball back and then get their biggest moment of joy. And Figueredo testing the hands of Carrie Simpson. Rather comfortable back there, but it's pretty much just been I think common knowledge since the first 10 minutes that we're going to need a very big goal advantage here to relax. We're not going to be able to relax today, are we? They're just not that sort of team, Stockport. The 2 games last year proved that. This is going all the very way, regardless if anyone takes the lead.
Yeah, and after watching the World Cup this morning, I've already got no nails, so I could really do with Leeds United to score another goal just to settle us.
Yeah, just make it nice and easy as Stockport try to come out from the back. Alice is unlucky. Catherine Smith will wrestle away. Referee lets the play go on, but there's lack of support in midfield. There was Chapman again, and being quite passionate alongside O'Brien. Something you've spotted you want to fix?
Yeah, just the gap between defence and midfield.
It's opened up massively.
It's huge, and it's just allowing them just to get onto the ball and get into those gaps. And therefore, in the past 5 minutes, that's why they have had a couple of chances. So we just need to close those gaps up a little bit. I want to see Olivia Smart pushing that midfield up, getting them off her toes, and just, as I say, in the first start of this half, we were playing very much in their half, but we've just dropped off a little bit last couple of minutes.
Stockport free kick taken by Kennedy Owen. Elliott heads it, but not the way she wanted. There is Pizzarello. Right place, right time. Gillen so strong, wins it back. Elliott trying to get in the way. Another tame effort for Stockport County. And they get another shot away, but only saved by Simpson as Dunby gets it out. And Stockport's pressurising. It's just gone up get my teeth back in a notch or two in the last 5 or 6 minutes. They're winning more of the second balls. Leeds are not getting as much joy. Brady getting out from the back.
Yeah, I think we just need to settle it just for the next 5 minutes. Let's just keep possession. Let's just slow the tempo down a little bit, because they're getting a little bit too much joy for my liking at the moment. But when you've got players like Danby on the ball, this is exactly what you need.
Pizzarello again. Ball in hand. It's Olivia Smart who's trying to drive forward. Witham couldn't get fully under control, but gets in the way. Again, Stockport win the ball back. Here is Jakeman, just wanted another touch, didn't get the time. Figueredo flicks it away, allowing Weston to try and chase. Only one thing on her mind. Jakeman doesn't know too much about it, but does win it back. Top work, wins a throw. Second half, she's been really, really important to this scoreline staying at 1 apiece.
Yeah, she's been really strong. Not much has got past her this half. And as you can see, she's still trying to play those balls, albeit they've been blocked, but we'll take a throw in.
Jakeman down the line, it's up towards Rousseau. Good touch from Figueredo, leads a throw. Smart asking for it, receiving the ball, now looking long to bring Ellis or Rousseau into the game. Rousseau's going to chase it. Somehow she's going to get to keep the ball in play. Just gets it stopped right at the first attempt by Stockport though. Brown nipping in. Weston again, so strong. A lot stockier than Abby Brown, and that tells in that duel. Jakeman just puts off Figueredo and wins Leeds a throw, and Jakeman seemingly enjoyed this battle in the second half.
Absolutely. I think she's got the upper hand this half as well, but it's really important not to switch off because Figueiredo I was going to say she only needs one chance, but she had quite a few in the first half actually.
If you've just jinxed us, then I'll be happily letting you know, rather than it's such a joy that it might not be me that has done something like that, as she continues to be thorn in Leeds' side. It's up to Smart. Clears Abby Brown, just trying to keep it in play. Just gone a little scrappy out there. Leeds' strong start. Stockport making more of a wrestle of this contest.
I think we just saw Laura Bartup warming up a couple of minutes ago, so I've got a feeling that she'll be coming on soon, and hopefully she'll be wanting to make a big impression and return back to Leeds United. Hopefully, I'm sure she'll be wanting to get on that score sheet.
Yeah, Brown and Jakeman, the two players wrestling to try and keep this ball in play. I guess that's the added advantage for Rick Passmore as well, that he's looking at this attack, arguably one of the strongest from last season. He can still keep the pace out there. If Russo has to stay on if he wants Russo to stay on the pitch, she can easily play out wide. She's got no problem doing that, as that will be a free kick. Smith with a slightly over the top push on the Stockport defender. And the referee wants a word with Catherine Smith, and she will receive her first yellow card of the season. I think it's a free kick.
I think it's a free kick. I think the yellow card seems harsh, but I think we've seen 2 or 3 of those late tackles now, so I think that's probably why.
Yeah, I think it's because for me, because where she is when she kicks it, if she gets away, she's got a free crossing opportunity. So I'm not that surprised the cards come out. Catherine Smith didn't seem to be that frustrated, but she clearly felt she had to make the challenge as we wait for the set piece to be taken. Referee just giving out the final instructions. Owen digs it out. Missed by Leeds at the near post. Shot comes in. Not sure Simpson got a hand to that. Seemingly ducked at the last second, and a very powerful drive goes over the crossbar, thankfully for us.
I don't think we dealt with that then, Tom. I think we needed a big header on that, and it just seemed to go over everybody. Number 4 found herself free at the back post, so again, another let off for Leeds United.
Simpson to Smart. Looking for Ellis, potential handball appeals. Here is Pizzarello, and a bit of patience shown by her, keeping hold of possession. It does appear that the entire structure of the team, maybe Brady, has just got a bit out of sync. Wingers a bit too far forward. That is because of this, though. They're trying to go long early, keep the strike on the last shoulder of the defender. Get it right up there and use the pace. Offside against Figueiredo. But it's almost like when Pizzarello got the ball there was one outlet only. Not enough if you try to go through the lines and progress downfield.
Yeah, and I think sometimes it does work and it does pay to be direct. But I've been up at Thorpe Arch. I've been at the training ground where Rick, we want to play nice football, but obviously we need to get results as well. And we want to be playing out from the back, from carry through to defence, midfield, and join up the attack and everybody join in. And we call it the Fantastic Four. So we need 4 people up front supporting and helping out. It looks like there's going to be a couple of changes here.
Yeah, double change. So Laura Bartup is back in Leeds United colours. Paige Williams is also coming on. So it is Williams on for Ellis, and Smith makes way Bartup on. So in theory it should be Williams for where Bartup was. Abby Brown will go play where Ellis was. Russo to right wing, Laura Bartup through the middle. It's a little puzzle that's been put together, and it's a different attack now. You've now got a focal point to aim at rather than going behind. And if you're going behind, it might be down the wings instead. Smart will clear over the top, looking for Brown. Ball just seems to get caught a little bit in the wind. Bartup gets to it, tries to hold it up. She will go to ground. That is a free kick, and Laura Bartup immediately winning a set piece and showing a bit of passion as well.
Yeah, she brings so much to this Leeds United team, not just her goals but her work rate. She's constantly getting free kicks because at times it's the only way to stop her.
Yeah, I think she was maybe asking for a little more off the official yellow card, maybe, but yeah, got that strength, that power. She wins a set piece. It's one of those I always find these very awkward for a player. It's a bit too far out to shoot. The cross then has to be perfect if you're going to go towards the edge of the box where Bartek, Brown and Williams are stood.
If this is direct, I would be tempted to shoot, Tom.
Maybe if Olivia Smart has got the confidence. I still think she might go for the safer option. Danby to her right hand side is an option as well. She goes low, looking towards Witham. Witham towards goal. Oh, it's a perfectly worked set piece. And you asked for direct, Bridie. You got it in a different format though. Really crafty, cunning play from Olivia Smart. And there is Danielle Witham. Stays on side. It's 2-1.
Straight off the training pitch, Rick Passmore will be super pleased with that. That was a fantastic spot by Olivia Smart. And what a finish. I mean, she could have gone either side.
Yeah, not much space at that near post, but she seemed to find it. And looking at the replay, you'd think the easier way was across the goal, but she made it work no matter what happened. And we've now got a set piece routine. I'm going to expect that every free kick 30 yards out in the middle, I'm expecting some sort of wizardry.
Honestly, we work a lot on set pieces in training, and we never seem to score from a set piece. So Rick will be really, really pleased with that, I'm sure.
Yeah, such a big moment for Leeds. Just when you put the two subs on. Stockport have already played one of their cards. They've now got to rethink things. Exactly what Leeds needed. Carrie Simpson has just been able to take a little bit more sting out of the tape of Stockport. Just try and waste a little bit of time. Make sure that we've got to put the pressure on. And it's up to Bartup again. That'll be a free kick against Laura Bartup, who suggesting she still had control of the ball. Not to the agreements of today's official. Still leads to Stoke 1. Free kick to come. They're taking it short, those. Sorry, Stockport, should I say. Stockport taking it short. I was quite surprised by that because you've said it all day. We've seen it all day. They've been physical. They've got quite a bit of joy from set pieces. I'd have thought any free kick would have been a chance to sling it in.
So trying something different, but it didn't pay off then.
Houghton gets to it. Pizzarello nips in. Danby does as well. That'll be a free kick. Danby actually takes it off Danielle Witham. I think had a smile on her face at that. I think that pat on the back is almost to say, thanks for ruining my chance to sprint forward.
I think we'll take a free kick there. Going into the last 15 minutes, I think we just need to try and keep possession as much as possible and just break the play up a little bit.
The fall to Bartup. Tries to take it to shoot. Just lost control of it. Williams flies in. Williams has come off second best in that challenge. The Stockport player has gone to check she's okay. It's going to go all the way back to Simpson in the Leeds goal. And again, just making the Stockport players work a little harder.
Is it too greedy toss for another goal, Tom?
No, I think it's vital, to be honest, because of the way we've seen this game pan out. And Leeds under pressure here suggests that she's just what the sort of game we're going to get. Stockport desperate. They won't want to start. No team wants to start with a defeat. And a point on the road is always a strong starting point as the ball looking for Bartup. I think if you want a goal, we know who to pass it to. She's going to shoot on sight. Try and get Russo in behind, try and pick her out as well. But I've got the feeling it's going to become quite a bit frantic and stretch this.
I think it might become a little bit open, yeah. I think Stockport would not have wanted to see Laura Bartup come on the pitch at this stage in the game. But she has, and hopefully she'll make a good impact.
Down the line, Olivia Smart gets in. Referee says free kick. Head injury, in fact, is the reason for the stoppage. I think Olivia Smart's a little unlucky. She makes it look harder. I think she's gone for the ball. She's took a slight touch of it, but she's gone over the top of it. In doing so, taking the Stockport player out, who's then landed on her head. And she's been in the wars today, as Jess Gillen. So Olivia Smart goes in, actually slides over the ball while winning it.
Yeah, it was a difficult one. I think she definitely won the ball. So I don't particularly think it's a free kick, but I think the ref might argue that she took the player as well, which in this day and age you have to be very careful.
Yeah, I mean, again, Olivia Smart straight away was protesting there was no, and she's showing a little bit of sympathy. Is she the most passionate player?
She's one
in
of
the team.
One of. It's a competition between her and Bass, I think.
Yeah, I just find it. I think it's great to watch Leeds players with so much aggression, but channeled, so passionate to try and win. And even giving a free kick away, seething that the referee might have suggested she gave away a foul when she hadn't.
Yeah, it's rare that you'll see Olivia Smart smile on a football pitch, even when she scores.
Yeah, the only time I've ever seen it was last year's trophy success. And even that took a few minutes as they're under pressure. There she is again, right place, right time, just steps on the ball. Danby not played into a good position. It's just broken down for Leeds again in midfield. Danby hooks it clear out to Brown. Nobody for Leeds can get their foot on the ball. The ball has not gone out of play. Daniel Witham, I think, expected it to do so.
Yeah, I think Olivia Smart just played Danby into a little bit of trouble then.
Yeah, Figueiredo's going to go for goal. Carrie Simpson thought she might have just dropped it over the line, but she actually had it under control. Rolls it towards Chapman, who's had a quiet few minutes. Fullbacks haven't had that much to do, and this is where Paige Williams has to try and just marshal things around the pitch. Bartop's touch is heavy. Williams goes and wins it back for her, but at midfield 3 pretty much has to control this game for here on in. Simpson hooks it clear. 15 minutes to go.
Yeah, I mean, Bartop's not had the opportunity to train much with some of these players, so knowing where each other are running and things like that will take a little bit of time.
Figueiredo appeals for a corner and appeals for a goal kick, and it is the latter that has been given. It's only been 5.5 minutes since the goal. Doesn't feel like that, does it?
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah, Leeds still leading by 2 goals to 1. And if you're just joining us here on LUTV, there's goals either side of half-time. Russo in the 39th, 71st minute for Daniel Witham from a well-worked free kick. Laura Bartop is brought to the ground. And it is Kennedy Owen that is the guilty party. No free kick with a yellow card, just the former for now, as Isabella will prepare to take.
This is where Laura will just give us an extra dynamic with that height in the box there, so hopefully we can have a good ball into the box now.
Yeah, it's not been the case though. Low, Bartop makes something of it, not once but twice, and now she will carry Leeds forward, just trying to play a pass into Jakeman. Williams was already directing Jakeman down the line. Bartop's touch, it's not sloppy, not for the first time, just trying to get that fitness back, as you say, Brady. Got to make it stick up top as Figueiredo goes down the line. Elliott tracking her all the way. Elliott has got the better of her, and in the first half Figueiredo beat Elliott by backing in. Elliott got tight. There's only been, I think, 2 or 3 instances where they've then come together again, and the youngsters handled it every single time. Yeah,
she's done really well then. She stood up to her, showed her outside, and obviously I think she kicked the ball against Figueiredo there, which a bit of a lucky ricochet, but I think overall she did really well. Just taking on a drinks break now. Bass is back in the orders from the side. I'd expect nothing less from her.
No, the one commentary that Rebecca Bass was able to do with us, you can always tell what a player's like, can't you? Some just ooze that passion. She's just the same in person. Lives and breathes to play the game, and I hope her knee injury continues to heal, because a long old recovery and a long setback, and also helps Rick Passmore, I guess, from a coaching element. Sometimes I'm sure she's a hindrance when she's screaming into the side of his ear, but to have your captain at the side to then relay the message to the group at the same time. And I think it's also massive that without Rebecca Bass, you've still got Olivia Smart, a defender back there that's been there for years, done that, because you've got youngsters here getting the instructions off Rick Passmore, and they're learning as they go along. So you do need somebody alongside them to just go, you're okay, you're doing well. And I think so far, touch wood, them two have been really solid at the back.
Yeah, we've got a really good mix of experience and youth, but like you say, Becky Bass getting injured last year was a huge blow. Rachel Hindle came in at right back, did a really good job, but like you say, you can always hear Bass on the sideline, and she gets on with everybody in the team. Great voice of reason, and yeah, she's a big loss, but she's still there, which is great to see. Very much involved.
Yeah, fingers crossed for a quick recovery as possible. As Simpson's clearance looking for Bartup, backing in all the time. Russo doing the same. Bartup and Russo went for the same ball, then both forgot about it. Went a little bit pear-shaped. Not just as you say, Brady, it's just two teammates trying to get to play with each other. Not had that many training sessions as a group. Bartup, a new addition back to the camp as Stockport come forward. Isabello gets a touch. Danby just tries to ease matters by going back to Simpson.
She does that so well, Danby, in those situations. Calm head.
Stockport have upped the tempo a little. Paige Williams notices that, flies in. Jakeman applauds the challenge. His team knew exactly what Paige Williams is going to bring to the party for the next 10 minutes. Workhorse in midfield, someone that will fight tooth and nail for every ball. She's on the ground fighting for it. Elliott again doing the exact same thing. Got to roll proverbial sleeves up for Leeds. You know, the players have to try and dig in. Paige Williams epitomised that in that cup final last year. Certainly her best game for Leeds.
Yeah, I was just about to say, you know what you're going to get with Paige. She'll give 110%. She's an absolute workhorse, and she gets herself in some really good positions. She breaks up a lot of playing. That, you know, it's something that you don't always see because you're normally watching the players that are on the ball, but she works really hard. And she can play a killer pass as well.
But to say her passing is actually underrated. You know, she comes across as a bit of a disruptor. She played wing, didn't she, the year before? But she's often dictated games. Just plays simple passes to try and set the game alive. Thank you very much, Paige, for doing it just on cue. As the ball goes forward up towards Russo, she's taken out as Bartup picks up the pieces. Bartup now, defenders backing up. Just wanted that little bit of extra space to go for goal, Bartup, so she holds it up. Russo still down. That's good work from Laura Bartup as Leeds try and go for Brown. It just pings around the midfield. Witham taking charge. Bartup in the centre. Witham just riding the pressure of Weston, just trying to find a way through. Just can't get hold of it, but she'll have another nibble. That could be a free kick. Witham gets up, almost like an assault course over there on the far side of the pitch. And she wins her throw. No wonder the crowd applaud the work, because at all levels of Leeds United, men's, youth, women's, there's an element of we know what's expected, Brady.
You know what, she just didn't give up then. That's what I loved about it. She was in the corner, seemingly not really going anywhere. We thought she was going to win a free kick, but she just gets back up and she's won a throw-in for the team, so fantastic. Yeah,
no wonder the fans were happy. Even a little forward roll to get up. But Bartup's not happy the player's back again. She's certainly let her opinions known since stepping onto the pitch. Not happy that... I'm guessing she feels she's been targeted out there as Witham flies in. He's a little fortunate there because there was a touch. The referee then gets the call, I think, from near side official that Danielle Witham accidentally tripped up the Stockport player. And now I think Laura Bartup is in a bit of bother. I'm about to say she'll do well this season to avoid cards if this is going to be her aggression towards officials, but because she just booted the ball away, Stockport complained, and the referee gives Laura Bartup her first yellow card of the season. And we like to be biased, and the facial expression suggests, I can't complain.
I can understand her frustration because, you know, like I said, she is very difficult to mark. She uses her body really well. I've played against her myself, so I completely understand how Stockport are feeling right now, and obviously they were backing into her, so I can understand her frustration at not getting the decisions.
Williams to Russo, who just stops, checks her run. Williams will now send Bartup on a bit of a run, who's bound to be the main target and focal point of these attacks. Abby Brown's out on the left hand side again, just working as hard as ever. Stockport try and clear down the line. It's a good ball as well in behind. They've replaced Figueiredo with Johnson in that Stockport team. It's now Gillen, Bradshaw, the two focal points further forward.
Yeah, I've not seen much of Emily Bradshaw up top for Stockport in this second half. I think she'll be getting frustrated that she's not getting much service, but she's one of our top players.
Yeah, it was Johnson, the sub, that played it forward there. Danby just robbed Stockport off possession. Sadly, her pass has gone astray, and maybe the tale of the tape the last 10-15 minutes. Leeds defensively just dealing with things, and then as they went to play the pass, it's all gone astray from there. A lot more controlled in the first 15 minutes of this second half. As defensive, they've got to stay switched on. Jakeman again telling Carrie Simpson to make it hers. Don't know why I was a lot more nervous than them two.
I was a bit nervous
They look
then
like
as
they're
well.
just, oh, this is easy. But Stockport got very close to that.
Absolutely, yeah. Carey demanded that, I would expect.
Danby clears. Again, Bartup isn't the player that Leeds want to be chasing this down. Not that she's not got that desire to do so. You certainly get more out of her if you play to her feet. Is that nervous 5, 6, 7 minutes left of this game. Jakeman just cuts across.
Leave the ball there, Harriet.
Yeah, and she does just that. Speaking like the true leader, you can't help yourself, can you?
I can't help it.
It's just got to blurt out. It's giving the instructions out. But that, again, it just shows you what someone's got to do out there. You know, if you can't play, Smart can't play, someone else in this team has got to say, right, manage the game differently, because this season is long. It gets longer as the women's game in this the level we're at in terms of you play in the cups. Managing situations and picking up these wins, they soon rack up, don't they?
Absolutely, the girls only used a lot of energy today, just even the build up to the game and the World Cup, and after the game today, I was feeling a bit down in the dumps, and I thought, how are the girls going to go on and play? So, there's been a lot of emotion after today, and I'm sure the girls will be just waiting for the final whistle now. Just need to run that clock down like Spain did today.
Yeah, it's a good point. I mentioned it, I did it earlier in the first half out. Such an important day for the women's game in England and for other countries as well, to be inspired by that World Cup final. Kick-off even today delayed for it, and rightly so, as they're trying every step of the way, Stockport, to make a real fight of this and get a share of the spoils in their first game of the season. They've got work to do here defensively. Abby Brown is chasing this. Stockport do everything they need to do to keep it alive.
And I think Abby looked a little bit frustrated then that there wasn't a Leeds United player backing her up for that second ball.
He's just maybe showing signs of tiredness, not just physically, mentally as well. Yeah, I think you can tell Abby Brown's body language. She's just tired. She's played both flanks. She's worked hard. For the last 5 minutes, she's just been a runner, constant getting up and down that flank to try and help. It isn't an easy afternoon. Of course, the heat as well, the new surface, and the added extra boost of adrenaline with such a decent crowd out there today to cheer the players on.
Yeah, I think some of the balls that we kind of hit him forward, for Abby Brown to run onto, they've not been probably as perfect as what she'd like them to be. So we're asking quite a lot of her, but we know she can do that, and that's why we'll continue to play down that channel. But I'd like her to have another shot at goal this half.
Ball in with them, can't get to it. Williams again just wanting one more touch to just settle herself. It's important. Danby not happy at the lack of a shout from her teammate. Stockport have just given themselves a bit of a boost here, a bit more energy. Russo then takes it away from them with just a simple breaking up of the play. It's what Jess Russo does. And now just that decision to play the pass, she was caught in two minds. Everything before that was exactly what Leeds needed. Now Stockport coming forward, has slipped out the back from Pizzarello. Leeds scrambling across. Danby's touch, it'll fall for Gillen, and it's an effort towards goal that thankfully has no power whatsoever behind it. And Carrie Simpson dives on the ball, and Leeds are just having to manage this situation by making us sweat a little bit. There's nobody taking a controlled, nice, relaxed manner. I thought Jess Russo was about to, and then she just had that idea of we can have one more attack here. And I think Rick Passmore is just saying, let's just see this game out.
Yeah, I think going into the last couple of minutes now, I think the girls are very much playing defensive, getting behind the ball, but what that's allowing them to do is to put the pressure on. So I'd like to definitely see us get up towards the corner flag at the other side, if possible.
They're trying to relieve the pressure, get up towards Bartup, let her hold it. If Russo or Brown have got any energy left, that ball has gone out of play. Carrie Simpson with the sun in her eyes takes control, and she's clearly got Bridie's voice in her head. She's about to boot that, took her time, dummied it. Let's waste a few more seconds. There's been a couple of instances where there's been the odd mistake here and there as the only Price is going to come on just to shore things up in midfield. But in terms of performances, Russo has been superb. I've really liked Jakeman's second half display. I think Izzy Elliott's grown into the game. Pizzarello on debut has shown some nice touches where I think you'd feel that the more she grows into this team, you'll really start to see what she can do. Have you got someone, Bridie, that just stands out as a player of the match for you that you just feels got Leeds over the line today?
I think I'd have to say Olivia Smart. I think probably looking at that position as one of my own, but I just think she's been there when we've needed her at dangerous times, whether that be a head or a block or just driving out of defence. So I think my player of the match is Olivia Smart today.
No, I can't argue. She has done some really good work in defence for Leeds. She nips in again, not only once with a pass but the second clearance. Stockport, too much space here though. Owen's going to go for it. Simpson just backtracks and it's a safe, calming save. And Bridie alongside me has learnt from the Ben Parker 21's book, he can't say anything bad about any left back. You can't have any bad words said about centre backs, so you've got to praise them, and I've got every respect for you looking after your own group. It's up towards Brown and Bartup trying to collect. It's in this final frantic few minutes of the game at Leeds' new home. Arthur Town Stadium will be the base of Leeds United's fixtures this season. And we are a few minutes away from the perfect start. Leeds have still got work to do though. That change of Fiona Price coming on suggests it is going to be defensive from here on in.
I think we've got to be pleased overall with the result. I think the performances will come. I think in parts it's been good, in parts it's not been so good, but like I said, no complaints from me today. First game of the season. It's going to be nerves. It's the first time they've played together.
Yeah, huge challenge in midfield. Danielle Witham flying in. He picked up a slight knock. Paige Williams doing the exact same. That's what you want to midfield. Workhorses just kicking Leeds over the line. Williams runs out of room, but in doing so just wastes a little bit more time off the clock.
Yeah, she did brilliant there. Like I said when she came on, that's what she does. She breaks up the play, just frustrates it for the opposition.
Yeah, I mean, she would have had an out ball, but because everyone's gone defensive, Abby Brown's actually behind her. She would have been the player down the wing to pick up possession. So the referee has a glance. There's players asking for final instructions. Leeds players just hanging on in. You never know at the end of the season just how big this performance and result will be at the start of the season against the team that I'm sure will pick up a few scalps. What a header from Elliott, and epitomising the defensive makeup of this team, leaping across the defence, and her biggest contribution defensively comes with one of the last kicks of the game.
I'm very proud of that header. I'll be giving her a pat on the back when I see her straight after this game. Love that.
Yeah, huge header, plenty of territory. Leeds still defending, no respite just yet.
Like you say, we shouldn't underestimate this result if the referee blows his whistle.
Oh, he is, but it's only for a free kick. Danielle Witham has gone in too early with the challenge, and it is a free kick that is in a worrying position defensively for Leeds United. It's how Leeds took the lead, a crafty set piece. They're going to have to think of something here, Stockport, as Paige Williams just tries to frustrate Stockport as best she can. She frustrated the skipper Kennedy Owen. Now what have Stockport got up their sleeves? Everybody back for Leeds.
Have to be organised here.
So we've got a 4-player wall including Dampy, Brown, Pizzarello and Williams. It's then Danielle Witham receiving some instructions from the touchline. She's marking at the free space in the edge of the box should it fall to the number 16, which is Georgia Johnson. And over the set piece, one of those, here's Owen. She's going to take it short, and now a chance to fly the ball in. Witham gets to it first, dealt with it really well, Leeds. Now can they push Stockport all the way back? Witham gets a toe to the ball, and as dealing with set pieces go, that's as good as you're going to get. Williams now wins it back. Leeds' wall pretty much doing it all themselves. We haven't been able to see anyone that was behind it. That's a perfect wall, and talk about defending from the front, going out together as a group.
Do you know what? Another contender for man of the match. Danielle Witham played absolutely brilliant today. Obviously she got a goal as well, really important goal at an important time, and then just leading from the front, just amazing defending that.
Bartup gets in there, concedes a throw while doing so. Bartup still has work to do up front. Brown now coming across. She nearly got to the ball as well. Leeds stretched all over the pitch. Danby flying up, Witham getting there. Leeds now winning the ball higher up the pitch and conceding throw-ins further forward, and that's going to stay in. Stockport frustrated, Leeds delighted, Danby's taking it. And here is the management of the game. Abby Brown is so desperate for the pass. And Leeds win a throw. And there is the experience. If Abby Brown was in charge, we'd be having a shot.
Who can blame her? The referee's just had a couple of looks at his watch there, so I think it's any second now he's going to blow the whistle.
Yeah, Abby Brown.
Charlie's jogging for the ball. I would urge you to stop jogging.
Yeah, Abby Brown thinking like a typical striker. Needs to now use that here. Going to cut it in. Bartlett was nowhere to be seen, and Leeds had to manage that a little better. Now racing across is Daniel Witham to try and get to it. Again, the presence felt up there from Jakeman. Leeds seemingly getting a second burst of energy somehow after this tiresome bit of defending they've had to do, as the referee looks across, and there goes the full-time whistle. The first person up is Rebecca Bass in celebration at what was a gutsy and really determined, hard-fought win at the Bannister Pretend Stadium. Russo cancelling out Gillen's opening goal. Daniel Witham with a stooping, sliding challenge from Olivia Smart's crafty free kick. And Leeds United have their first 3 points, Brady. You don't get much better than that. Start of a new season, new ground, at home, 3 points.
Yeah, no complaints, like I said. Really happy with the 3 points. Obviously, we'll have to have a look at what other results have gone on today, but yeah, overall, can't complain. You know, Stockport are a really good team. We've struggled against them in past seasons, so really happy with that result, and I think Stockport will be disappointed.
Yeah, really difficult afternoon, tough nut to crack, but a positive start to the new season. Leeds, of course, will no doubt have lofty ambitions. You can follow us once more all season with the Leeds United women's team here on LUTV. And for those that have joined us today, and especially to Bridie for joining us this afternoon, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your weekends, and we'll be back hopefully with another victory later down the line.